And Roy will be back a little later in the programme with his 6th Plant of the Centenary finalist. We'll also tell you then how you can vote. Now, this afternoon, we're looking at how Chelsea has always educated as it has entertained. And one area that has dominated its science section more than any other is fruit and vegetables. Take a look at Chelsea's edible history. By the 1920s, the RHS was involved in fruit trials with the government of the day in a bid to find the best flavoured and most disease-resistant varieties. The Society was also working alongside the newly opened East Malling Research Station in Kent, where scientists were experimenting to find the hardiest rootstocks for our fruit trees. By the end of the Second World War, the RHS had begun working with the National Farmers Union to help promote the government's drive to increase domestic food production. In 1947, the NFU arrived at Chelsea with its first display of perfect vegetables. It continued with these displays right up to 1992, supporting stands in recent years under the name of UK Horticulture. Well, UK Horticulture and East Malling are back for the centenary year, and Chris Beardshaw's been to meet them both.
Chelsea Flower Show isn't the only institution that's celebrating its 100th birthday this year. In 1913, East Malling started its pioneering research into fruit trees. There are very few varieties around the world that haven't in some way seen some advancement, be that on a domestic or a commercial level. The centrepiece of this stand is a wonderful example of a mature apple tree, in this case around about 30 or so years old. All of the root system has been exposed and exhibited, demonstrating that when we grow plants, when we buy plants, it's what's happening beneath the ground that's every bit as important as what's happening above the ground. But in fact, what's even better is that this isn't just one plant. This is in fact two completely different plants. There's the variety at the top, which produces us sumptuous and delicious fruits, but it's this piece, from the wound, this sort of swollen knuckle, down into the ground. That's the second part of the plant. It's the engine, the rootstock. It's this part of the plant that governs everything that happens up in the sky. Well, you've been playing with fruit trees all your life, grafting, sticking these two pieces together. Give us a rundown of the types of rootstocks that are available to growers.
Well, they grow from very, very dwarfing right up to big trees. But there are about 5 really good selected forms that gardeners can use for different things in their garden.
And it's a fairly brutal process, isn't it? I mean, you can show us very quickly how it's done.
Yes, I'm going to cut the top of the rootstock off. I made a cut like that and put a notch in it. And then we take off a piece of Brayburn in this case.
This is the form you want to eat, this is the form you want to pick.
That's right. Similar shape cut, notch in that one, and cut it about 3 inches long and push the two surfaces together. And then just a piece of polythene tape. And then finally, we're going to seal all the cut surfaces. That is how we make trees.
One of the biggest challenges facing organisations like East Malling is how to cope with an ever-expanding population and their ever-increasing demand for food. And this could be one solution: hydroponics, growing plants entirely in water and nutrients, devoid of all soil. It's these sorts of experiments that mean that future generations will have not just quality food, but also food security.